Salt became more than survival, it became currency. Your hand reaches for the shaker without looking. Fries, eggs, popcorn, doesn't matter. It already knows exactly where the salt lives on the table. A quarter teaspoon, gone in seconds, forgotten instantly. It's the most automatic gesture in your entire day. Now imagine that same white crystal being worth more than the food itself. Imagine walking for days, sometimes weeks, across desert or mountain, just to trade for a fistful of it. Imagine your muscles cramping. Your thoughts going foggy. Your heart starting to skip. Not from an illness, from a mineral deficiency that used to kill people quietly, and often. For most of human history, salt wasn't a garnish. It was a biological emergency waiting to happen. Here's the part school never taught you. Your body cannot make sodium. Not a trace. Protein, fat, most vitamins, your body can build or store all of it. Sodium, you have to get from outside, every time. It's what lets a nerve fire. It's what keeps water balanced across every cell wall in your body. Let blood sodium drop far enough and brain cells start to swell. Confusion first. Then seizures. Then death. Doctors call it hyponatremia, and it can happen in days, not weeks. So why didn't this kill off every early human? Here's the twist. For most of our evolution, we didn't need to add salt to anything. Meat and blood already carry sodium. A diet built on hunting delivers enough on its own, no shaker required. The problem only shows up when the diet shifts toward plants and grains, which are naturally, almost stingily, low in sodium. That shift is the hinge the entire story swings on. The proof, a man who ate nothing but meat for a year. In 1928, Arctic explorer Vilhjálmur Stefansson walked into Bellevue Hospital in New York and volunteered, along with a colleague, to eat nothing but meat for an entire year, under full medical supervision. He'd spent years among Inuit communities in the Canadian Arctic and noticed something Western doctors found hard to believe. These communities thrived on almost entirely animal-based diets, little to no added salt, none of the deficiency symptoms textbooks predicted. The hospital experiment backed him up. His sodium stayed stable. No shaker needed. That machinery is still inside you right now, the ability to run perfectly well on sodium hidden in meat alone. It's just been switched off by a few thousand years of a very different menu. Then the menu changed. Everywhere. At once. Around 5400 BCE, in what's now northeastern Bulgaria, people at a site called Provadia Solnitsata started one of the earliest deliberate salt production operations in Europe. Archaeologist Vasil Nikolov led excavations there, uncovering thick layers of pottery, kilns, and ash clustered around a natural saltwater spring. For generations, people boiled brine down in ceramic vessels, over and over, until nothing was left but salt. 7,000 years ago. Not a byproduct, an industry. A few thousand miles away, in the mountains above Hallstatt, Austria, Bronze Age miners were tunneling directly into solid rock salt deposits by 1200 BCE. Because salt preserves almost anything it touches, archaeologists under Anton Kern at Vienna's Natural History Museum pulled out wooden tools, torches, even fragments of miners' leather sacks, still intact after 3,000 years. Organized labor crews. Underground shifts. A mineral worth risking a cave-in for, and on the other side of the planet, with zero contact with either group, along the Yangtze Basin in Sichuan, China, at a site called Zhongba, Harvard archaeologist Rowan Fladd has traced salt production back roughly 6,000 years, brine evaporated in pottery vessels built for that one purpose alone. 3 civilizations. No contact with each other. Same wall, a farming diet stripped of the sodium hunting used to provide. Same solution, fire, ceramic, patience. That's not coincidence. That's biology forcing an identical answer out of completely separate cultures. Salt became more than survival, it became currency. Anthropologist Frank Marlowe spent years studying the Hadza hunter-gatherers of Tanzania and documented something crucial. In small-scale societies, sharing food isn't just generosity, it's how trust and social debt get built. Salt fit that role perfectly. It didn't spoil. It was easy to carry. Everyone, everywhere, needed it. It became one of the earliest things people bartered across long distances, moving down trade routes centuries before coins existed. You can still feel the residue of that today. Every time breaking bread with someone signals trust rather than just a meal. Why this still matters. The hunt for a mineral your body demands but can't make pushed ancient people to build some of the first specialized industries on Earth, independently, on 3 continents. It built some of the first long-distance trade networks because salt was light, durable, and universally wanted, exactly what makes something worth carrying 100 miles. It's very likely why salary traces back to the Latin word for salt, a linguistic fossil of just how central this mineral was to what people were willing to work for. So next time your hand drifts to the shaker without a second thought, remember what that gesture used to cost. Tunnels bored into mountains. Caravans crossing deserts. Communities standing over fires for 2 straight days to scrape a crust of white crystal off a clay tray. You're not seasoning your food. You're inheriting 100 centuries of someone else's labor, condensed into a habit so small you never even notice you're doing it.